Dummy.
It's Bill. He walked in there. I was like, hey, man, grab you some snacks. And he was like, all right, bet. And I was like, grab your water. It's hot outside. Man, this nigga grabbed the smart water.
He got to get the 79 water.
He grabbed smart water because it's tall. It's long.
No, he grabbed the little boy with the little sports cap on it.
My man be sported, cuz.
That man probably just grabbed the water. Nigga, you shouldn't have volunteered. Nigga, volunteer and get mad, goddamn.
I ain't get mad, but that shit was kind of like funny to me. It was worth it, even though I ain't do. You know, say it was worth it for the laugh. Like, this nigga grabbed the expensive smart water.
My man thought he was balling. He was like, "Shit, this nigga went from snacks to get some water. Let me ball out on this water."
What you pulled up in?
Shit.
Do what?
He was in the bed, no doubt.
No, in my car.
The way they snap. Who to say you on snap?
Hell no, he don't snap that bitch. That nigga like, hey, clothes in that bitch.
This week I was just thanking for after that. I said, y'all, these niggas will pick the stupidest shit to argue about. Like,
it'd be the truth.
What kind of shit was that?
Niggas, everybody in the same tax bracket. Nigga call each other elitists.
No, nigga, you elite. No, nigga, you elite.
Nigga retarded.
Hey, the same percentages.
Right. Every nigga do some broke shit and every nigga do some elite shit every now and again. Yeah,
crazy.
They gonna get mad.
That nigga mad about that nigga said you bought a goddamn $1,500 goddamn what it was the little Android thing they fly. What the fuck?
Yeah. Think about a $1,500 toy.
He said my shit cost $45.
That nigga flew that bitch once at that. Flew that bitch once and put it up.
That shit $1,500. Nigga, my shit $45.
$45 on sale.
Y'all niggas elite. Y'all niggas elitists, man. Something wrong with y'all.
Oh, y'all niggas elite. Y'all is elite.
Y'all got money, man. Y'all got the money.
Who? Shit.
Man. Seeing how tough standing on us this week?
Yeah, man, nigga.
I'm gonna get mine. Fuck y'all.
Flight book wrong and all. Fuck that.
I'm ready to go now.
Right.
Dummy.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Can you wait a second? And I'm gonna look next Friday, Todd, and I'm gonna drink shit out your ass at the price the exact same.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's a good bargain. How much that shit was though?
My shit was $166.
Oh no, that's about a good $30.
It was Cooks that did it though. I really thought y'all was bullshitting, to be honest with you. I really didn't think that y'all niggas was gonna do it. Matter of fact,
needed one.
I didn't even tell the girl that was even a thing because I get tired of just saying shit because y'all just be talking. Mm-hmm. So someone who's like, man, we're gonna do it next week. I'm like, all right, well then we'll see.
I'll wait it out. Tell her later.
Yeah, I see. And then Baron came in there talking, got me in trouble and shit. Did y'all yeah, man, we got rooms over here. She's like, what we going about?
Where we going?
but it's true because I ain't think that y'all really gonna do, so I ain't even bring that shit up. And now I look like the motherfucker who ain't everybody know but her.
I went ahead and cleared the air. I cleared it once.
I did too.
Once I saw Cooks and Todd book, I was like, damn, these niggas thinking about going to DC on the men's trip.
When Cooks booked, Baron was at my house. Baron texted that nigga and was like, hey, what's up on DC? We thinking about that. That nigga 2 seconds, hey, flight book. What y'all gonna do? And that's what set everything in motion.
I was actually texting that nigga then. Like I was leaving fresh, that nigga was texting me. And he was like, man, what y'all gonna do about this DC shit? I heard about it. He was like, y'all gonna go? I was like, shit, man, I don't really know. You know how these niggas is. I ain't gonna even stunt. That nigga said, fuck that.
Cooks.
I'm booked. And then the next message I received from that nigga was the group message with all us in that bitch saying, hey, I'm booked. What y'all gonna do?
All of these angry spouses is your fault, Cooks.
Oh, no. I only said something when Joe brought it up. I was like, hey, I think the Dummies going to go to D.C. for the march. Soon as he said it, I was like, oh, yeah. I think we're going to D.C. And they talking about going to D.C. How you feel about that? Clearance.
Nigga, I got the hand, nigga. Oh, yeah. I got the whole hand, dude.
But then I had to make sure, I had to clear it again. I was like, man, I asked each and every last one of y'all individually, hey, girl, go on.
I saw Cook. I still didn't think nobody was going to. I saw Baron going in that bitch booking shit. I said, okay, we going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's about the 80th one of them talks we done had. Nigga had 88 of them hoes. Yeah. We going somewhere every week and don't go. But hey, man,
And we damn sure got the non-refundable, so I'm going somewhere. I'm going to DC that weekend.
Yeah, that
Man, but
weekend. On that date. That's
I think we
Man.
got insurance on our shit because just for that reason.
I did too. It was number
Just in
20.
case Corona may pop back up, something may happen. So,
I think I got 48 hours. I might need to go ahead and add that.
Yes, you should. It ain't number $23.
hey, yeah. But here we go. You tuning in to the Dummies Podcast. I'm Stop.
Catch me in Flight Joe.
And I'm hooting, nigga.
And we back like we never left because like we said every week, we never leave. It's episode 85, I think. 85? What's today? It's
Let us know, Dad.
what it is. Sunday, June the 6th. Am I right? I'm all wrong.
Yeah.
Sunday, June the 7th. God damn it.
It's 84 degrees outside too, if you want that.
And we back in this thing, man. Still on this Zoom, man. I can't wait till we get off of this. These niggas still won't take us off, but we still on Zoom, man. As always, shout out to the people on the front line, man, who still fighting the pandemic because it is still a pandemic going on. Shouts out to all the people protesting. I see them. Everybody speaking up. Sticking up for their rights, using their voice, man, to make things change. And as we seeing, like instantly, we seeing a lot of different changes and things going on across the country, man. It's a beautiful sight to see so many people marching in solidarity, black, white, Latino, Muslim, atheist, whatever people are, man. People are just coming together, man. And it's kind of good to see. Finally, I was wondering always what the tipping point was, but I just see so many people coming together. And as always, we seeing some old dumb motherfuckers, and we're going to get to that. But we back, we here, and the dummies are ready to do what we do. Where we at with it, who?
Oh, man, this week been a good week, so I tried to find something that wasn't going to weigh too hard on our hearts and on our heads, so I tried to find the highlight point of this week, which was my boy graduated this week. You know what I'm saying?
Shouts out to Warren.
Shout out to Warren.
They graduated, it was Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? They did the social distance thing. Y'all know the entire time I be kind of questioning, is it time to have graduations and people pack in the stadium and things like that. But it didn't seem like it was that many people there. The kids were separated. They also had masks on up until they went and sat down in the stadium.
And y'all remember when Hootie was talking about doing it? And he was like, "Yeah, man, it's gonna see if it's 150 people in the graduating class times they family times this. Yeah, man, that's 2,000 people in one spot."
When you do the numbers, shit, it is. But shit, nigga, some people don't show up. You know, some people only have one family member.
That nigga went from 130 to 2,000 in a blink of an eye. Goddamn.
You get 4 tickets, goddamn. Think about it. If all of us had 4 tickets, we got all gonna have 4 people come. So I look at it like that. But all in all, I still got there. I stood at the very top of the stadium and stood up the entire time. I didn't take one seat, so I was above the Corona. You know what I'm saying? Corona was down there. I was at the top. But I also learned something, man. Like I learned something just standing out there and listening to the salutatorians and the valedictorians. Like they had some tough stories. Like they had the salutatorian young girl. She just was telling how she had a tough life and how she almost killed herself. And being stuck at home because of Corona actually made that depression worse. And just being uplifted by her family, her friends, made her get through that shit though. And that's real crazy, fool. And the valedictorian, young white kid, of course, real smart kid, but his whole speech was just about unity and bringing shit together. So the youth have the right idea, man. And that was my highlight, seeing those young people trying to bring everybody together.
That's dope.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah, you're right about that youth shit, man. That's one thing that I noticed too, and we'll get in it, as we keep going, man. It turned, we still dealing with everything we dealing with and dealing with everything that we seeing and going on, and we definitely gonna unpack all of that. But I seen some optimism, you know what I'm saying, this weekend, like some hope and like some stuff, like you said, like from the youngsters, man, that's making me like, we gonna be all right. These youngsters tired of that. They tired. They not with all that funny shit, man. They ain't with all that racist stuff. They ain't with all that shit. They look at people as people, man. And I don't know. Hopefully we build from here, but yeah, tough.
Another fast ass week for one. Like, nigga, I swear we be flying by you sitting in the house. My niece, she graduates, I want to say shit this week sometime, but they did a little parade for her yesterday. Shout out to another graduate. Camille, she graduated from Parker High School.
Shout out.
Yeah, she headed the state, you know what I'm saying? Freshman year on the yard. So
state back open? It's like you see a lot of these colleges allowing like athletes and people to come back. But outside of athletes, are school open to like just regular students?
Them niggas go to school August 17th, boy.
And it's official.
It's official. August the 17th. I don't remember going to school that early.
Mm-hmm.
At least September.
Well, it was the end of August. It was the end of August because we would be in camp in early August, and then like the last week or two of August, we would go to school.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, man, congratulations to her and all the other graduates as well. But yeah, for the most part, same old, man. What about you, Joe?
Man, it's been a long week. I wish it was short. What we podcast? Yeah, Sunday. Left the podcast. Heard about the protest. Me and DJ went down there. We went down there about 7:30. Once I saw they had some rope and a pickup truck and trying to take a monument down, like, all right, well, no reason for me to be here anymore. Let me go on home.
Nigga try to take that bitch down with a sledgehammer.
Nigga out there beating that bitch one
ass statue. All you heard was ding.
Nigga, let me
so
that bitch.
I know that nigga hand was vibrating like a mother. That shit be hurting with your hand too.
Shit numb. That's like a bat hitting the ground, goddamn. Question about that. How many monuments is it actually, and do they want to get them all down? Or is it just like one in particular? Because I went out there yesterday and I saw about 3 or 4 of them still up out there.
Well, one is like for Mexican Americans. Another one was racist, and it was the smaller one. They did take that one down that night. Then the big one, that was for the Confederate person. But yeah, went home, had a regular day, regular night, chilled. Was in the shower, and Gio called me, which is a cop. Shut up. And was like, "Hey man, I heard they headed to you." And then as soon as I get off the phone with him, I'm like, "All right." So Courtney came in like, "Hey, they like people like outside." I'm like, all right. So shit, I grabbed throw on some shorts, flip flops, and grab my shotgun. And I went outside, like it was just droves of people just coming through. And I was just yelling at them, "Black on, black on, black on." They're like, "All right, bro, y'all good, y'all good." One little guy, he threw a window across the street. I'm like, "Man, they black on too." So they just kept going.
He threw a window across the street?
And then, how we get a window from?
He threw a rock through the window.
Nigga just grabbing windows on
Nigga just throwing windows, goddamn. Nah, I got what you put. I'm just trying to lighten it up.
But yeah, so I called Tez, the owner of the building. He came down, and buddy from across the street came. White guy from across the street just came like, "Hey man, I got some wood. If y'all want to put it up." He came with all his tools. We helped him get his shit up. I went back in the house, and then all week after that, be like, "Shit, is they gonna have some? Is they gonna have some?" Mm-hmm. That's been my week. But
like that shit look like a movie riding around downtown, fool. And all you see is boarded up everything. Everything down there boarded up with Mureauxs. Went checked out a couple of the Mureauxs, and that shit just it look like a third world country, fool. Third world country. Mureauxs. Mureauxs, motherfucker. Fuck y'all, yeah. The Mureauxs.
Tell that nigga your Creole accent.
Right, goddamn. We checked out the Mureauxs down there. But that shit just like a foreign place, checking out, just riding around downtown Birmingham, Alabama. And first of all, it's deserted. Nobody's out there, bitch. And everything's boarded up. Like
I be saying that when I be walking our stores or walking in and out, and I see everybody with masks on. It reminds me of like one of them pandemic movies, and it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, this is our life now.
Now this shit like what Hoopty said, this shit weird down here. It's a little bit better now because they painted all the murals, and people are down there taking pictures. And yeah, I had to read deep that one.
Sound close enough to me.
Everybody taking pictures in front of them and stuff, and that's cool. But yeah, that shit just weird. 701, they lock us in.
That one that they got a George Floyd. I mean, all of them are live and dope, but that one of George Floyd was real dope.
Yeah,
I like it.
That was dope. That's fine.
And it got messed up, and they fixed it.
They fixed it instantly. It be some talented people, man, out there, man. Right. That was dope. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, but no, like before I kick it to you, but no, I do see it being like a real change.
Good.
But how was your week, Stock?
Good week. Like Todd said, they be zooming past, still doing the same shit. Been just taking care of house stuff, man. Surprised Jordan with her new room today because she had been begging. She she at that age now where she want that teenage type stuff. So, I've been working about a week now trying to get all her shit together. So she was real surprised. That was cool. Other than that, man, just looking at everything that's going on, man, and last week was more like a somber, damn, in the twilight zone almost and this week was more encouraging to me because even watching the protest, it seems like it's getting more organized. It seems like it's less looting, it's less riots and stuff like that. And it seems like people are kind of getting more of an agenda and getting more in tune with what it is they can get out of this. And we're already seeing a lot of things change. We saw in the streets of DC, all of the different protests from Chicago to even Birmingham, like you said, it's just crazy to see, like who said and you said, man, these young kids, these youngsters, and even people our age, man, they really fighting for change, man. And the stuff that we're seeing change, we know more stuff is gonna change because they not letting it not change. The way they is right now, they is not with the same old shit. We seen I seen the shit up there in Coleman. Anybody from Alabama from around this area know how that is. Yeah. It's always been more of a known around here as one of the racist hotbeds or hot areas, and them people up there protesting. I saw where it was like all 50 states had some form of protesting in it, man. Things gonna have to change. Politicians, that shit that they've been doing and getting away with, I don't think it's working no more.
I got a question. I was riding in the car today and I heard a question. I couldn't come up with an answer for it. The question was, how do you get rid of racism?
I personally believe that you'll never fully get rid of racism. I think it's always people that's going to be racist and they're going to need racism because it makes them feel better about themselves to have it, things like that. But I did see something, I want to say it was Killer Mike speaking. And he was talking about a report or a study that somebody did. And one of the things that they said to start combating racism is to start the education. Like if they said that they think that it could be eradicated in 20 years if people really wanted to do it. Now, getting it to happen is different. But if you start with the kids that are in kindergarten right now, and you teach them real history and you teach them about stereotypes and biases and things like that, and you teach them, this is in a perfect world, you teach them everything they need to know coming up. By the time those kids are graduating high school and going into college, it won't be no such thing as that shit no more.
So do you think it's more so teaching a kid to not be racist or teaching the kid to be racist? Because me growing up, I've never had anybody telling me not to be racist, or to be racist.
And you're not racist.
Right, exactly. So is it that these people out here are teaching to be racist?
Kids get taught to be racist.
I do too.
Because think about it. Have you ever seen two little kids play? You got a ball, I got a ball. They just kick that shit. They don't care. I think as we get older, we start developing the biases and all of that stuff. You learn that shit like that. It's a learned behavior, I think, to be racist.
Yeah, it's definitely learned because, like, in kindergarten, I remember I went to like a mixed elementary school. We all just played, but the older you get, you start separating, and especially when you go from like high school to college, you really start. I mean, everybody they kind of stick with their own. Who you look like.
But that don't I don't think that when you're older you kind of separate yourself. I think it's just your ideas of fun change. You know what I'm saying? I think you just grow out of people in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't mean you love them or dislike them any less, or the color of their skin even. You just don't do the same thing anymore. Like it's plenty of people from Mobile that I hung with that I don't hang with anymore.
Yeah, but I still think racism is learned though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm saying that part. Yeah, but I'm saying like what he was saying, like. You just can't really blame it on, you just outgrow people, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't necessarily got nothing to do with race.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, it's definitely learned, a learned behavior. I was just giving that as an example. But the punishment has to be great enough where you just can't do it. I mean, I don't know if you can fully get rid of racism.
Well, oh my bad. Go ahead. Finish yours. My bad.
I mean, you always gonna think you might think you're better than somebody for any amount of reasons, and that's kind of racism.
Yeah.
But as long as you don't act on it, or as long as it's not systematic, like don't hate me, but you still got to hire me. If you're a cop, you got to treat me fairly.
And to your point, Dez, you got to give my Joe some hand claps, man, because to your point, New York is actually looking at passing a law that for people who keep doing that shit where they calling the police for no reason and all that, they talk about making that a crime. And I remember you talking about that plenty of different podcasts about that they should start punishing them for doing that shit. And New York is looking at doing it.
Yeah, because because you're wasting resources and you know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. Because if you think about it, like
wasting resources, and you're risking.
Like you making that person who's getting paid have to go and redirect to this area for some shit that you making up.
And they're passing up a real rape to get there.
And it's just like, yeah, that's true. And it's just like filing a fake police report to me in a sense. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Another thing from this week that I was, I don't want to say amazed because again, none of this shit I'm shocked by. None of this shit catches me off guard. But it's amazing how people don't realize what they can't say. Like people that you would think, and it made me realize how dumb people can be because people got these platforms and we've watched all week people say shit and take it back the next day. They say some stupid shit. Then the next day, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Do you accept it? Do you accept the take back?
I mean,
for me at this point, it's hard to take back. It's hard for me to accept the take back because I honestly feel like what you said initially, most times it's kind of how you really felt. And maybe you can clarify on it. Like I get it. That, yeah, you can clarify on what you said, but I still take what you said as what you said.
Right, and I do that too. But sometimes when you're doing shit like live and on air or like, see, we have the ability, honestly, we can edit. So what we say, for the most part, is kind of how you felt. You know, I hate to say this because I hate to see what might happen in episode 200 when I say some shit and people going to hold me to it. But we kind of edit and let it be on it. But if you're on a live radio station and something come out wrong, that's it. And we live in an era of sound bites where people are not going to read the whole thing of what you said. They're only going to just take the sound from what you said. So to your point, I feel like I accept apologies based upon who that person is. And if you have a character that has shown me, and like, for instance, we saw Drew Brees this week say some stupid shit and have to take it back. It's kind of hard.
I don't accept that.
I felt like, no, hold on. Let me finish. I feel like what he said, he meant. Yeah, and he's feeling it. So I don't take back his sorry. But I won't, like I saw some people calling him racist and this, that, and that. I don't know if I'm going that far because of his history of what he's been doing.
He just don't understand. I don't take it back, and I wouldn't say he's racist, but I would say he wasn't being sensitive to the situation at all. And he didn't try to forget about how he feels about the flag. Think about what
for a minute. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And to that point, like what we say, and at this point, you know, this is the first thing I thought about, and I've heard it on so many places, it's getting redundant now, but I just hate to hear that shit from them because, again, they act like as if they're the only people that got to serve in these militaries. You know, I got family members, we got uncles, cousins, granddads who served in Vietnam, who fought in civil wars, all that different shit. It just, you know, I don't know why they feel like they granddad are the only people that did it.
Crazy.
I mean, I was killing Brees, but more of Saints fans just trying to, because don't like the Saints. But I don't know. I wouldn't call that racist. Yeah, he was just being insensitive. And somebody that's considered insensitive a lot. I'm like, well, that ain't what I really meant. But he just sees things in a different way. But you've been playing with black people right next to you your whole life. You can have unawareness, just like what's buddy name, Kyle Korver. He was like, he'd be sitting in the locker room and he'd be amazed what his teammates got to do. Like he'd be like, "You pay your mama bills?" Like, I got to pay my whole family bills.
Who'da brought up something that was kind of interesting to me. Who'da said they're not aware, and I think again with Brees shit, I'm not talking about Brees no more. Brees should have known that shit. He should have known what the fuck he said was dumb. It was stupid. whatever. We'll get back to that a little later. But I will say they are very unaware to what it is that what go on in our community. And the reason why I say that is because I never forget I was talking to two teammates of mine in college at UAB. And we were sitting there talking, and they was talking about somebody, some kind of story came up about somebody's cousin and how, he was 16 and dropped out of school and And they kept saying, well, why is he dropping out of school? What do you mean? Like his parents don't make him go to school? And they was like, what you mean? Like he raising himself. Like there are nobody really around. His mom's on drugs real bad, And I'm not saying this is everybody's black story. I'm talking about this particular story. So which we have all heard or seen this in some different form or fashion. So they was just like, I mean, what's hard about getting up and going to school every morning? Like you should just get up and go to school. They were talking from a place of not understanding. They don't know that there's some kids out there that take care of themselves at 14, 15, 16 years old. So if they're dropping out, or they may not have that role model, or they may not have that parent to push them and say that. And I think sometimes some of their ignorance is rooted in not even knowing.
Well, they need to learn to ask questions, because I get that you don't understand it and you're ignorant to the situation, but don't say, why is it so hard to get up and go to school? How about you ask, hey, why is he able to get up and go to school?
Yeah, and that was my whole point of bringing that up. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked.
But also that could be tough, because it's stuff you might not know about, and unless you have like a close friend that can tell you about it, like you maybe not going up asking strangers or your casual friends about it. That could be a tough situation, but I don't see why you can't see the bigger picture. Like, okay, that flag means something totally different, or kneeling means something totally different than it does to you. Like, damn that flag. What about this?
It's even more stupid that he chose to say it now, bro. Like now.
But at the end of the day, man, this man, Colin Kaepernick, ain't in the league today because he took a knee during, the Star Spangled Banner or whatever. He said way back then, that 2-3 years ago, what it was about. He never said anything. It wasn't about the flag. He said that then. But you elected at this point to still really just not even listen to what he said then and now.
But the same thing happened. Brees wanted to make it about the flag, so he didn't want to have to talk about what's going on right now. That's the scapegoat. Oh, I'm with the flag. But do you think that shit was wrong what that cop did? Like, he didn't want to talk about that. Because a lot of people have a big problem with talking about, like, directly racism. Like, do you see this shit wrong?
Yeah, I think Brees talked about exactly what he wanted to talk about. I think that he just thought that, like you said earlier, he was rooted in all selfishness, man. Like, he only wanted to talk about his position of how he feels about. And like Hoot just said, he never thought to, maybe I should ask a question. Hey guys, I know y'all keep saying this, but I'm lost. Why are y'all kneeling? What does that signify for y'all? What does that represent? And then come up with your thoughts and opinions. So
you can go back to what you said earlier, the soundbite. That shit ain't going nowhere. When that man in the locker room, you can put it up on YouTube on anybody's channel, what that man was addressing when he said the reason why he was kneeling. So if it was something that you really wanted to understand, you could always go back and find that very interview.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed, Todd.
I find it very hard that he couldn't ask one of his teammates in
Malcolm
4 years.
He could have asked him.
Yes.
He in his very locker room.
He's probably told you a lot.
I don't think this is the first time he told him that either. I think he called him crazy or stupid before, shut up before.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's you in the wrong city for that shit, Bree. It's gonna be real hard.
They tortured it. Like your teammates and your buddies gonna remember, but them fans, they gonna love you when you winning, but you make one mistake. They already honestly, fool, a lot of them really do dislike him.
And that's
like they don't think he have the goods.
Black ass city, man.
Yeah.
They really don't think he have the goods no more. And they were screaming for Teddy a whole lot last year. So this shit like this is gonna only make it worse. But to me, man, it just tells me he didn't want to understand. For the simple fact that we wasn't talking about the flag. You brought up that shit.
So we've been talking about this the last couple of weeks, man, and we saw the images come out of the Buffalo police officers who pushed the 72-year-old man The man fell back and hit his head. When you seen it, man, it was another fucked up situation just to see it and catch it on camera. And what I kept wondering was, like, why they had to push the man like that. Well, 57 of Buffalo's police officers resigned from that particular crowd control force. I don't know what the fuck you call
emergency response.
Yeah, they resigned. They resigned from that because of the 2 officers who pushed the man were suspended. So they were showing, I guess, solidarity. And this is to me a point of where I think when other people don't understand why people think it's all police, they were wrong in that situation. I don't care how you try to slice it. I don't care what was said or what was done. It was one man, and it was 10,000 police officers. I'm paraphrasing. It was literally it was about 6 or 7 of them. You could have handcuffed him. You could have put his hand behind his back. Come on, you coming with us? It wasn't necessary to push him, to hit him, to do anything other than just arrest him if he was in the wrong at that particular instance. But yet, 57 people, so it was 2 of them, so 55 other people thought that I'm going to resign to stick up to some shit that's wrong. That's when people feel like it's a lot of y'all. That's when people feel like it's the whole system. You are literally showing them that in what you're doing. You're thinking that that's okay. It could have been like, bro, I support you, but you fucked up.
Right.
Like, you know, I can tell my homeboys that all the time. You did that, but you fucked up.
And I wonder
I
if
ain't standing with that shit.
Like you fucked up, bro. Like I can't ruin our reputation and your integrity because you made one bad decision. I'm sorry, not on this one. Now, if it was something different, I understand, but not this one.
I wonder if that comes from the top, though. The top meaning the president, because of course, you know, he stated that they need to be more aggressive and things of that nature. So the reason why the cops are saying that they resigned is because they're saying they were only following orders, which basically tells me their orders was to get people to fuck about your way. If anybody comes to you, get them to fuck about your way. So I get that. Yeah, you was wrong as fuck. But that tells me that and now the mayor of Buffalo is actually going after the man who got pushed down.
Well, I did see the mayor of Buffalo. I did see him come out last night, and he was saying that was what was told to them. Those was the orders that they was told to do. He talking about it was other people inciting riots and all of that. They claim that man was that man looked like he was not harmful at all, but they say he was a ring leader. What I keep saying though, hold on, I got you. What I keep saying though, I don't give a fuck what he had just did. In that moment, take him, lock his ass up, do whatever you needed to do. If it was illegal, what it was he was doing. But I guess the force that was met with the way he was doing wasn't. It
wasn't necessary to push him down.
All you have to do, you know what? Right now, sir, you're under arrest. You're being detained. You know what I'm saying?
Like me, I can probably take that, but a 75-year-old man, come on.
I don't think nobody young. I don't think nobody should have got pushed in that instance.
I agree.
That was a guy detained immediately following. When they pushed that man, somebody walked through that crowd and they arrested him. They did not push that man. Bro, none of us on this platform has went through any police training or anything. I guarantee that any one of us can subdue a 73-year-old man who ain't even showing no resistance and just put the cuffs on. I guarantee you can do that shit.
But you didn't even say like you under arrest.
You ain't saying a word. You just pushed him.
Just straight fucking get the fuck out the way.
And then rightfully, fool, if you thought he was a threat, you not just gonna push him like that.
I ain't grabbed no maze. I ain't
like you ain't yeah.
So
you just pushed him and kept walking, basically, because you knew he wasn't a threat.
So, question: do you still want people like that on the force?
No,
because technically they're still on the force. They just quit the ERT team, but they still work for the department.
As a civilian, get this bitch the fuck out of the department.
Because that's the same nigga. Like that's the.
I'm talking about all 57 of them niggas.
Right, because that's
all 57 of their ass. You need a new training class anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Because think about what that cop gonna do when he does feel threatened. When it's one of us he looking at.
That's what I was just finna say. Right. It just make me think that the next time you pull somebody over, I know where you gonna take it. I seen how you took it with a man who just chilling there. You know what I'm saying? So I know how you gonna take it when you see me, because I know you're gonna be scared of me. Right. So I know where you gonna take it. I don't know, man. It just again, this is where I say all the time, we've been saying this week after week, we got great friends that are police. We don't think that it's all police officers. We just think that the system sometimes affords police officers opportunity that it doesn't give to everybody else.
And another thing too, like those good police, you need to tell on them niggas, man. You need to stand up for us as people and tell on niggas. And when you start to do that, you won't get that bad rap like you do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. When you have 57 people to resign with something that we knew was blatantly wrong, that's when it makes people be distrusted. That's when it makes people look around like, nah, bro, see, that's what we trying. You literally did everything that people are scared of with y'all. Y'all did it right in front of them by all of y'all saying, I know this motherfucker did wrong, but we with you, nigga. We riding with you. That's some good shit that we do when we be like, man, I'm riding with you wrong or right.
Them niggas have a street code within each other.
They a gang, man. They operate as a gang.
That's crazy. Them niggas got a street code.
Hey, who to go shoot up some shit? I love you, my nigga, but
yeah.
Who done did it? Hey, I'm gonna write you next week, my nigga.
Yeah, I mean, I put some money on your books, you know.
Don't give it to me.
But question, because we was talking about Brees and stuff like that. Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, for people that don't know, he donated $1 million to police training, and people had a problem with that.
They need it.
Right. I didn't see, take me out of it because I'm a Cowboys fan, but that's where we're lacking in their train wrong.
I forgot what it was, fool, but it was like it was some type of article that was just telling you about the different types of training about doctors and people who go to the army and people, even a customer service representative, sometimes go to school for 9 and 10 months where these niggas go for 4-5 months. And
No. I saw
it was a real short time. It was don't quote me on the times, but it was real short times.
It was like to be a barber, you need like 5,500 hours. To be a police, you need like 2,400.
Yeah.
Don't give me that. But it was something like, hey, to be a barber compared to,
nigga, you get more training as a waitress, nigga.
It's one of them things, man, where I personally think that like it's one of them unreasonable. I think we're in a hypersensitive time, and I think that we don't always do the best when we're in an emotional state, like Hoop said earlier, of compartmentalizing different issues. Like him donating is like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Now, if it was, imagine if it was a white quarterback doing that, it could have been it would have been very interpreted. Oh, he racist. You see what I'm saying? Like everything is not racist. Everything is not bias or stereotype, shit like that. But Dak giving $1 million to training, that training that Dak's giving that money to could maybe help the next encounter for the next kid coming up because they had that training. Just like, part of the thing has been saying defund the police. Where y'all stand to think on that? Because I look at it like I do think that they're getting too much money. I do think that some of these budgets are warped and big, especially when you see police riding down on tanks and fucking submarines and shit to pull up to arrest some protesters. But I do think that we need to revolutionize the way that those funds are being used. Like you said, they only get but so much training. Maybe training needs to be more upscale. Maybe they need to spend more time on personality training. Maybe they need to spend more time on interaction training, where you interacting with people in fucking what you call that word, high intensity situations or something. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's where the money should be reallocated to because we're gonna need police officers and people who can come and show up. I just think that there needs to be a transformation in the way that we police people. In general.
In every profession, you have developmental training. Like, say for instance, you're a teacher. You have professional development days allocated on certain days when they just devote the one day to the next thing that you need to learn as a teacher or how you want to, you know what I'm saying, how they want you to teach it. Police need that same training, bro. Like, you cannot give somebody a badge and a gun and say, do it like how we did it in the 30s or the 40s or the 50s. No, motherfucker, they was shooting niggas down because they was sitting at the color people goddamn cafe table. Like, no, you can't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I just think that some of them just bad, man. I think some just bad. And that basically comes from speaking to cops and police, like the guy that I trained, Marcus. Real good dude. You know what I'm saying? He never had any issues, man. And he will tell you, man, we've been trained on we have an updated training situation to where you can understand it. Just some of the motherfuckers just don't want to understand it, and they think they're the authority. So if you say something crazy to them, that gives them the right to.
We have to be. And you got to be clear. I've seen a lot of police officers and sergeants and whole departments and shit speaking out about this shit. It's a minority of people who going out saying that this was the proper way to handle it, or doing shit like what we saw up in Buffalo. And it's a minority of it. But for some people who are in the heat of it right now and who out protesting and stuff, it's still not quick enough. And that go. I understand that. I understand that frustration. I understand wanting to see things done right away. But I can say in this last 14 days, we are seeing legislation be put up. Up in DC, we just seeing change. I just feel like it's some things that are a little different. I see some things that make me optimistic about the situation. I'm not taking my guard down. I want people to keep pushing and marching. I seen a dude in New York who was talking about the guys in Buffalo. And he said, yeah, that's a direct relation of what we're all doing out here right now. Like, if we wouldn't be out here causing this distress on them and putting all this stuff out here, that wouldn't have happened like that. So he right.
Keep doing what they were doing. Right.
He putting the pressure on them.
But man, I really think it just comes down to the screening process. Like, for a job that important, it requires no, anything. You just got to be able to run a mile in under 13 minutes or something crazy like that. Yeah. It's not enough requirements. And they shouldn't let people, they should go through a mental phase. Like, if you soft like a punk, you don't need to be a cop.
Yeah.
If you're inferior or feel like you're inferior to people, you don't need to be a cop. Because once you put that badge on, you gotta do exactly what I tell you to do. No, nigga, you here to arrest me or give me a ticket.
And it's another way for an easy fix too, man. Once that happens, fire their ass, put them in jail.
I seen something too that said, I don't know where it was I saw this, or I read this. But they were saying how when you do a transformation to the police system, that you need to start making them be insured and making their incentives and their pay based upon their treatment of interacting with people. Like, if they're getting 16, 17, reports, that'll make them, they saying like some of them might not be racist, but they don't give a fuck because you don't matter to them. You don't affect them. But if you start docking they pay for them things or taking stuff around it, then you taking money out the people that they do care for, which is their family. And they care about making money for their family and care about, doing stuff for their actual kids and stuff like that. So if you incentivize them based around things like that, you make them more, I guess, concerned about the people, the way that they deal with people.
Exactly. Or even if they're not concerned with the people, they're more so to do their job the right fucking way.
Right.
But think about it, man. Can any of y'all go to y'all job and steal 17, 18 times like my man who killed George Floyd?
And get 17 warnings?
17.
Don't steal that money.
Out, baby.
Yeah, just put it back.
You only get 3 strikes.
Just put it back. Yes. Yeah. You get a
and nigga, that ain't dealing with nobody's life.
Yeah.
Right. Most jobs, man, you get about 3 times to do the same thing wrong.
Can't get right. You talked about donating. It was a lot of people we saw donate money over the weeks. A lot of different corporations and companies. I know that Bank of America put up $1 billion to fight racial inequality. I don't know if we're gonna wait to see if they really push the check, but they vouched for $1 billion. Michael Jordan stepped in through his Jordan brand. We saw that Floyd donated money to the family for the funeral. I kill him all the time. Kanye West stepped up and put some money in towards the cause. A lot of different people. NFL donating. I think it was $40 million in addition to the money that they've already put up. Ben and Jerry's. I don't know if y'all saw them out there getting in the mix. Getting arrested, jumping in. So it's like I said, man.
Go buy some ice cream and get that shit away.
Right. They even dropped a new ice cream. What was it called?
Strawberry Crunch, something nuts.
It was something for activism, man.
What was it? Pecan Resist. So shouts out to Ben and Jerry's on that. But again, we just like we said, it's just something different, man. I was watching CNN last night. I see people all in England. One dude said, "Man, I've never experienced it here, but I seen it enough on American television to know that this has stopped." And it's another thing. When I went to Ireland, I sat down with some. We was in a smoke shop with some black folks. We was in there drinking, and they was smoking hookah and shit. They were from Ireland. Native of Ireland, and one of the chicks that was from like Africa, and the dude kept saying, "I don't want to go to America. They shoot black people in the street." Like he just made it like it was like some. No, the police kill black people over there. Like the way he said it, like he really like felt like, man, I ain't going on. Y'all need to get killed by the police too much. And it's crazy because now we seeing all these countries that seeing what's happening over here, getting involved in what's going on, man. That's why I feel like something just a little different this go around.
It is. And I'm in this little photo group on Facebook, and it's people in Germany and people in like Amsterdam, all of them places, and they just having a revolutionary, basically.
Yep.
I want to say it was like 7. Of course, it was 50 states. Like you said, that's the first time ever. But it's like 7 or 8 countries that protested. This is the
I think it was 15 last I saw, Kangi, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's even better. Yep. So, but this is the biggest protest ever.
Yeah. Good. But let's be clear. We saw Obama come out, and he put out, some guidelines on how to get things changed, or ways to go about getting things changed. One of the things that's going to change, we can protest, we can march, we can go to the streets and tear stuff up, but unless legislation changes, politics, the people who make these legislations, the people who are in power, who control if a police gets charged or not. If you're not excited or happy about that, that's what need to be changed. So let's all remember when people decide like I'm not gonna go vote because my vote don't matter, or all of this different stuff. You have got to go vote. You have got to start understanding politics. So you don't ain't blaming, oh man, I'm gonna blame the president. Or I'm gonna blame Obama for, he was the president for saying this when it's your local. It's that person right around the corner that stay by you that's doing that shit. That's staying your that's doing that shit. So we have to remember them votes, them people that be on the ballot, because I done heard so many people say, man, I want to vote. I don't even know who that is. If you go into a ballot, make sure you familiarize yourself with who is in your district. You can go on, if you're in Alabama, you can go on the website and look up who is who, man, and just learn your people, because the presidential elections, you see them. They're everywhere. Those local shit, you may not see that shit as much, man. So you need to goddamn familiarize yourself with who that is, because those people are making decisions. Whether you go vote or not, they're making decisions for you and your family. So make sure y'all get at that.
Man, local elections, like your district attorney. If you keep seeing this happen and they're not being prosecuted, get rid of that district attorney. Get their ass out of there to get these, because once they see these cops continuously go to jail. Because I don't care how racist Buddy is that killed George Floyd. If he knew he was gonna be in jail right now, you best and gonna get convicted. Hopefully,
kind of like that
shit.
Right, kind of like that video. I saw a video of some riot cops basically arresting some people, and he had his knee on the person's neck, and his homeboy, his partner, basically pulled his knee off his neck. Like, nah, this ain't what you want to do. So they gonna learn. They'll learn if you do it. They'll learn shit.
You ain't gotta punch them. You ain't gotta. Hey, move. Hey, bro.
Get it out his neck. You know what I'm saying? Hold him down in his back or something.
Just give him the.
Hey, man. Think about this. And I hate to equate it to this, but remember when we played football hoop? And when you play in the sports, if you see a nigga lined up wrong,
you gonna help him. Get in the right spot.
Hey, no,
you fucking all us up if you
nigga take off the huddle and go right. Nigga, go over here. You're not finna just let the nigga go over there, because if he go over there and line up over there, you're gonna get a penalty because he's not supposed to be there. Get your ass off the line. When you see somebody, hey, stop it. Don't do that.
When they gonna really learn that they're a team? This nigga killing people fucks up our whole cop team. You get it? It fucks up the whole cop team. So nigga, stop him from doing that and fix your team.
Stop. Before you move it, hold up. Before you move it, listen. Do not follow these fucking idiots talking about holding your vote hostage either. All right? Get your asses up and go and vote, man. Because
study your vote.
Right. That's all you got. You have the phone in your hand, scrolling Instagram and Facebook and posting all your dumb shit all day. It's a simple Google. If you find somebody that's running for some in the area in which you live in, Google the name and see what they running about. See what they.
And if you're dumb, ask somebody that know.
Right. It's simple. You don't know the answer. What you gonna do? Ask the question.
And since we talking about votes and local votes, here's the power of what happens when you don't like what's going on in your community and you do vote. I want to give a big shout out to Ella Jones. I don't know if y'all know who this is, but she's the first black mayor of Ferguson, Missouri. If anybody don't know what Ferguson is, that's where Mike Brown was shot and killed in the middle of the streets. Ferguson is it has a high black population. They finally elected someone that looks like them to help represent what it is. And they did it because they went out and voted. They went out and they used their vote. They didn't sit out. They got everybody out to come out and vote for us. I want to give a big shout out to Ella Jones, man, on being Ferguson's new mayor. I think that was pretty dope because that's seeing a situation that happened a few years back and seeing people put their vote to power. And here we are. It can be done. It's just a matter of what we want to do.
If you don't like some, change it.
That's right. And that's a shout out to black women in power. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Mureauxs Bowser. I want to say her name wrong, but that's the mayor of DC. You know what I'm saying? The black female of DC. She's dope. Right. And she's making some changes and steps too. Going from I was listening to her on Wayne radio station, and she's super dope. Just from going to the big symbol of Black Lives Matter on the street, big and yellow. You can see it from everywhere in the sky. It's Black Lives Matter Plaza. That's definitely somewhere we got to go check out. Hopefully they don't change it because of who knows, they'll find a reason. But I think what she's doing is super dope as well. She's one of the first to get reelected, first black female to get reelected in DC. So that's dope of her too.
It was crazy. I saw April Jones. She's a correspondent in DC. She works in the White House, or she works on the press team for the that cover the president. She said that put this in perspective. You know, that Black Lives Matter Plaza and the street has been changed to Black Lives Matter Plaza or whatever. Well, that was Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House sits on Pennsylvania Avenue. So 1200 Pennsylvania Avenue used to be the address. Now it's 1200 Black Lives Matter Plaza.
That's super dope. Get his ass.
Nigga, get out, get that mail, nigga. From what I'm understanding, and from what I'm understanding,
sign an executive order or some shit.
But see, from what I'm understanding DC is kind of crazy or whatnot, but
because they're not a state.
Yeah, because they're not technically a state. But from what I'm understanding, the mayor actually has the control that's over street names and stuff. So I don't know how he would change it. And knowing him, he'll probably figure it out. But
the only thing he gonna do, they have to go through the Senate, I think, for their budget. So he gonna try to press on them to probably take some money away some type of way. He gonna try to do something.
1200.
Yeah, he gonna be petty to take that 1200 away. Damn, I saw an article saying y'all ain't getting another 1200. That shit over for you, buddy. Y'all ain't getting no more 1200. It's out of there, cuz y'all niggas out here riding and shit. No more 1200 for y'all.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question.
Okay.
What y'all think of Candace Owens and what she had to say?
Hey man, I don't want to. I have nothing to say.
I don't know much about her, but from what I hear, she's a bozo, and that's all I hear every single time I hear anything about it. She's a bozo. What you think about it? I think you have a thought since you brought it up.
I really wanted to take the high road and be like Joe, but I wanted to see what my boy was going to say. Because he said,
why you brought it up? You trying to set my man up?
I wanted my boy to go off because he's to go off. You know,
trying to set you up,
because my words for her, I would never say publicly about someone. Because even though she's fucked up in the head, I would never use the word, because I was asked, who is she by my wife? And I was basically saying, well, that's who Fox News got a hand up ass and just tell her stupid ass what
she mankind. She mankind. Yeah, she got the sock puppet.
But I mean, she been that black person that's not with us, that's on the far right. Yeah. And that's what she does. Like, I'm not clicking on her shit. I don't even know what she said this time. but I know who she is. And once you know who somebody is, believe them.
If you don't know what she said, I mean, I'm not saying you look it up, but you should go look it up. I'm not saying you wrong for not looking it up, but she said some real fucked up shit about George Floyd.
She did.
Yeah, man. She brought up the man criminal history, and I mean, I'm not even finna say that shit on here, but it's fucked up what she said. It wasn't necessary because I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
I'm not saying I don't care. What he did in the moment that he died was not legal. It wasn't right, and that's all that matters. All that extra shit that you bringing up has a time and a place for it. You know, if it was something he did in his past, let the system do whatever they did at that time for it. If it was, you know what I'm saying. But at that moment when that man passed, from what I saw and from that video, he did nothing wrong. He should still be here today, and that's all that matters. All that extra shit that you be bringing up to try to distract it.
Nah. So what do we think of her, Todd? She is like Mankind, Mr. Sacco. She's Mrs. Sacco. Miss Sacco, goddamn.
She's nothing but
got a hand. She got a Fox News hand up ass. Miss Sacco.
Yeah. Y'all saw Roddy Rich. Give it in the music.
Hey.
Roddy Rich, the box went sextuple. Is that right?
Nah, is that Cajun, nigga? Sextuplet.
Sextuplet.
I know that's what happened with people. I don't know if that's what happened with albums.
Wait, that bitch went sextuple. No, I mean I'm looking at it. It went sextuple platinum, nigga.
Sextuplets.
6 times platinum. It's continuing to, grow and stream on a high level, man. So shouts out to Roddy Rich on that, man. Still, to me, it's still probably one of the top albums of 20.
Still dope. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's still one of the songs I don't skip when it comes on, even though it's an older song. So it's pretty dope. Shouts out to Roddy. That's super dope. And I see during the pandemic he was posting nominations, awards, and things. I want to say it's Grammy, the Grammy that he got with him and Nip. So he's posting that shit too. So that's dope, man. Shout out to that young boy, man.
Yeah. Shouts out. To him.
And I saw because of this, a lot of like record companies and stuff are going to try to stop using the word, and like Grammys and stuff like that, urban. But you know what that means.
Yeah.
Like when they say urban.
Did they say what kind of word they're going to try to use?
It's probably going to be something just that matches it.
Inner city.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did see that was a thing. Yeah, what y'all think? Y'all think that does that word, first of all, does it offend you?
It never offended me. I go to Urban Outfitters.
Which when they say Urban Outfitters, it's not that what you think it is.
Right.
Right. But no.
It's suburban Outfitters, really.
Right. But when you hear it and it comes from who's saying it, you know what they're trying to say.
Black music, basically.
Yeah.
Which I'm honestly, are you offended by that? Because I know that, I ain't gonna say I know that, but to us and to me, our music is better. That's just me and my opinion. I understand if you have a different opinion. Right. In our sound, our music, it has a sound. So if you qualify it as something, I'm okay with that. Just don't be racist with the shit. Right. And I think that eventually urban or whatever term is next is gonna become offensive eventually. Because 10 years ago, I don't know if necessarily saying urban was offensive.
No, it started out as something. I mean, but anything could change. I don't think it started out as offensive, but just like inner city. But now that has to change because now
you inner city. You know what I'm saying? So what's inner city? Like it's condos in the city and shit.
The demographics of Birmingham is about to change. It's about to come down a little bit.
You live in a city.
Yeah, people are moving back into the city.
But that's different from the
what I say is let hip hop name hip hop, motherfuckers. How about that? And then that way there's no confusion in it.
It'll probably be real confusing then.
We already had 2 names for it.
At least we'll know we did it.
Man, they'll be like, this the mumble rap category. This the goddamn street rap. This the trap rap.
Yeah, this a conscious rap.
Who's the man like that nigga power cut off during the middle of the goddamn part. better.
That nigga gotta go put some more gas in the generator.
I thought they weren't cutting shit off during the pandemic. Who?
Goddamn dogs, not the light over, man.
That nigga shit faded to black, literally.
Look, the great when that shit happened. That nigga look.
Killer Mike, man. Killer Mike been pumping and jumping, man. He done been on every single platform. Killer Mike done been on every single platform there is, man. Killer Mike, very articulate, man. Very smart, very knowledgeable about everything that's going on. But he's still a musician. He dropped a free album. What was the name of it? Who?
Run the Jews 4.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to listen to it. I don't know if any of y'all listen to it. I saw y'all put it in the group, but I hadn't got to click on it. I was running so much. But I don't think he's getting any sales or proceeds. He dropped it completely free for the people. So if you support Killer Mike or you support their music, regardless, just go click on it, man. Go get that man on some love, man. Go listen to it.
I like to know the meaning of that. The streams go somewhere too, or how does because I get it, you drop it free, so people don't have to necessarily go hit the purchase button. But if it's being streamed, money's going somewhere. What happens to that, or how does that work?
I think he's saying the proceeds, even from the streams, he might donate somewhere.
Which is dope. I hadn't clicked on it yet. I am though. I just hadn't had a chance.
I'm gonna click on it because I was listening to him when I was jogging. I was listening to him on Wayne radio show. Wayne be having everybody on that bit. But he's on Wayne's radio show just talking, and Wayne asked him a dope question. Now I always ask, just like the same shit we always ask Stop. Like, why are you not into politics? He's like, man, I like to smoke weed, go to the strip club, and throw dollars and shit like that. So even though I like to do all of those things, I still. But then the question that popped up in my head is, what's more important though? But you can't determine that over another person's life either though.
This is the only thing that I think about politics. I feel like it's kind of, you can't help but, I'm not gonna say you can't help but to be corrupt, but it's so much shit that go into it. Yeah. And it's so much, okay, I'm gonna donate to you. And then it's gonna be behind and say, hey man, I donated you that. You need to do X.
You gotta do this. It's political. You gotta be political.
Fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. And if you take that stance, like nigga, I'm going in, a lot of times
you're not gonna be back
in the office. You're not getting back. So why even waste my time and my energy doing that? But maybe now with all this grassroots stuff popping up, maybe now we might start letting people be just people and be,
eventually, we're going to get those people who are donating but have the right things in mind as well, hopefully.
Yep. Y'all just make sure y'all donate to my campaign when I run.
What you running for? Dummy of the week?
No.
Got it, Jack.
That's a win. That's a win.
Carlo got fans, boy.
I'm going to be like, hey, he also got 300 votes when he ran. I'm not a lunatic.
Oh, yeah. How many votes you getting, though, compared to Carlos 300?
He about 301.
9,000.
Y'all think music gonna be dead for a little minute?
I hope not.
No, because I listened to some dope ass new music this past week. Problem and Freddie Gibbs is some super dope music. I think it's a different type of music because I'm not looking for no club music to make me jump around. I'm looking for some mellow shit like that Problem and that Alfredo that just came out. That's dope.
The niggas who can really rap are killing right now. Cause Todd, you heard that song, man. I was looking for it. Conway dropped a new song. And in the song, he's rapping about George Floyd. You see what I'm saying? Like this man just took something that just happened this week and put it out already, and it's relevant. And it was a dope ass verse, man. That nigga was spitting. It was a whole verse about the whole situation that happened, about how the racist had his knee on his neck. I'm telling you, I can't breathe. Man, it was a dope ass verse. I'm gonna have to find it, but it's just crazy because the niggas who can really rap still getting to it. They doing what they've been doing.
I mean, that Freddie Gibbs was live. I don't know what made me listen to it, but I was entertained by it. And he was just saying that, what's the producer name?
Alchemist.
He was like, they stayed in the same city, so a lot of stuff was him sending it over. And you know how they can do it now. You don't really have to be in the studio with nobody. Right. But he was like, he did some of the stuff at their house. But I think a lot of these major artists are going to wait till things get back normal before they drop.
Yeah.
Like if Drake was gonna drop this summer, he probably gonna wait till like the fall. Like,
But
I think Drake can get away with it because Drake can be two different people. He can be a lot of different artists.
Right.
If Drake drop his singing bag with just rapping and all that, just singing with words mixed in, he might be straight. His club shit, it ain't gonna work. But like just singing that melody shit when he be harmonizing and all that might work right now. But if he try to drop like a club banger, ain't no club to really go into right now. So I don't think that will work.
Now Kendrick would do good right now. I would listen to that shit now, even though.
Would you? You ain't listening.
Yeah, I would listen to it.
That J. Cole, that boy ain't turning that shit on.
I've listened to every J. Cole and Kendrick album. They just don't have any replay value, except for one.
A lot of people, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think me personally, I think that all of those big artists could get away with it right now because I think you'll listen to them, like the Jay-Z's, like the Kendricks, like the Drakes, like the Beyoncés, like the Kanyes. I think all of them could get away with it right now.
I just thought about something.
And they don't need the club. They don't need the club to survive.
No. I just thought about something.
What's that?
Somebody broke their rule.
What is it?
Somebody listened to
I announced it.
Somebody broke that rule.
I announced it and he did not let me down. What's the name of the song? It's a Meek Mill song. What's the name of it?
I haven't. You the one that told us about it.
I know. I got it on my docket. Hold on, let me get to it. Other Side of America. Like it just because of the times of shit that's going on, I felt like that was a song I had to listen to. So I didn't want to pass up that moment to listen to it.
It was definitely super dope and live timing, but can I tell you that's why you're supposed to listen to all singles because they be kind of like that.
I don't think they always be like that.
I mean, they don't be timed like perfectly to the situation going on, but I'm just saying like that's like how you was excited to go listen to it. That's what a single's supposed to do to you.
I get it, but I don't think there's been any other singles for a long time that's came out at a time of some shit like this that's going on. Like this is going on through the George Floyd situation.
So your rule got amendments to it?
I made one for this song. I guess so.
Like,
shit, everything have every rule has a what's the shit? What's the saying? I don't fucking know. You know what? Right? Not amendment, but an exception. Every rule has an exception, and that was the exception.
Okay.
But it was dope though. It's a dope song, and you can't think of another song that's came out through a pandemic and through fucking civil unrest.
But honestly, though, it was just a slow Friday, so that's probably why you listened to it. It's like literally.
Well, not for me. It wasn't. For me, it wasn't because I actually was listening to 50 book. 50, I think 50 has a hard time reading, but his book is great. His book is great. Yeah,
I can't
real
stop
good.
listening to it. Yeah,
it's real good. I'm on like chapter 6, so it's a real dope ass book.
I ain't gonna lie.
He's talking about everybody.
Nigga, I love books.
Mm-hmm. Especially an audio book, goddamn.
Well, no, I couldn't turn the page on this one. I just couldn't. But it's kind of like Jay Prince. You ain't read Jay Prince. You listen to it.
I listened to it. Right.
It was this one of those ones. I think it's better to listen to.
Right. That's the books I prefer, and especially if them themselves are reading because it's like they're telling their own story.
Yeah, but
so
Jay Prince's book came alive when he was reading. I can't lie. Like everything he was reading in that bitch, it was like I was sitting there watching the shit.
It's two books that especially with the times and stuff that we in, that they say that are must reads. It's called On Tyranny and The Myth of Race. It's two books that I heard that you got to check out. So I haven't even myself investigated them yet because I investigate books before I read them to make sure they fit my mood or what I want to read and where I feel like I'm at right now. But I heard that they some must reads that tell you about the myth of race because just one of the things that they talking about is the myth of race is that people don't understand your skin color to begin with. Like everybody came from one set of skin. It's just, I don't know, man. You got to read it. But like they just basically saying how everybody came from one race and it's still just one race. But the myth was put out there that there's all these multiple races for control.
I have a plead, man. I plead that y'all please put a lot more books on Apple Music. Because I listen to and read a lot more books, kind of say not necessarily read, but I listen to a lot more books because not everybody learns the same way. I feel like for me, listening to a book, I learn it, I digest it a bit better, just hearing it rather than me sitting down and reading it because I really don't have enough time to do that shit.
That's what I told
Even
y'all
in the pandemic.
That's what I told y'all a long time ago.
You can always just get the audio book.
Well, it's not. I pay for Apple Music. I don't want to go pay for what is it, Audible. I don't want to pay for Audible as well.
No, you don't have to. You can get the audio book on iTunes.
I know that.
Yeah, that's how I be getting my books. Like that's what I told y'all a long time ago. Like I don't have the time to sit there and read, but I'm commuting for 30, 45 minutes. Or I'm sitting down just chilling. I don't want to watch shit on TV. I can listen and take notes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? While I'm listening to my book.
Man, and I actually paid for Audible for like 2 months just to listen to the Charlemagne book.
Now the good thing about Audible give you credits as you buy stuff. Like you can get a membership and they'll give you credit so you can buy extra books. Now they don't do that shit on iTunes, but I got an iTunes and then now I got an iTunes iBook. So like in my library,
so do you actually go and buy the books or you just listen to them like a stream?
You listen to it. It's an Audible. Somebody's reading it. Like,
I know, but I'm saying like, do you have to buy it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you gotta buy the book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't have to buy 50's book. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just there for you to listen to.
Him and Jay Prince.
It's part of your. I pay for fucking Apple Music. I shouldn't have to buy a book on Apple Music as well. That's what I'm saying.
But the same way you used to get music, MP3 online, you can find it for free and just
that shit still happen. LimeWire.
Not
What's that nigga who I hate to call him out, what's that shit when we used to get all the shit? Texas Boy 81 or something. Remember that shit? That nigga had all the shit on there. That nigga want to go. What band that when you need him, man? We used to have a nigga shit. We could get everything off Texas Boy 81.
Baron gonna see some shit, but it's gonna crash.
Sports. This was an interesting. I just thought about what you said.
My goddamn Lightroom keep crashing, Baron. What's up with that? You know what I'm talking about. Shit crash.
In sports, we saw that Roger Goodell, man, came out this week and said that he was on the wrong side. What do y'all think about what it was Roger Goodell said? Because I have a little take, but what do y'all
damage
think,
control?
Man? He basically said that the league was wrong for not listening to players earlier about racism.
Damage control. That's it. I mean, it's easy to say it when, you know what I'm saying, the world is looking at the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's bad, when everybody looking at the bad shit, it's easy for you to then say, oh, I was wrong about this. What
and he's scared.
Right.
Like, everybody want to go right. Oh, man, let's go right. Like
it's the same thing like what we talked about earlier. When you come out and say something initially and then you try to fix it later,
or you ignore it initially. Like no, nigga.
He said something, but it was standoffish. It was like, I'm gonna let them figure that out. Nah, nigga, that ain't the place you supposed to be taking. You supposed to be standing up for what's right, what's wrong. Something
like 70-some% of your players are black, and you blackball a guy for peacefully protesting.
Right.
And why not? Another thing I don't get is why not do it as majority of the owners dislike you? Like you're not really going against them because they don't fully like you anyway. So why not stand up for your players who are being fucked up?
Yeah, I just think it's one of those things where the NFL just always want to try to be on the right side. Not saying that it's wrong to be on the right side, but I'm just saying like, oh, now you want to be on this side.
They're always late.
We was only telling you this a long time ago, and that go to the whole world. Like I think that kind of happened this week. The last 2 weeks, I think that it's kind of finally going to a point where it's like, oh yeah, y'all finally seeing what the fuck we've been telling y'all our whole lives.
Yeah, your homeboy got his knees on my man back with his hands in his pocket. That's what the fuck we fighting for.
I mean, to be honest, if more people would have listened to Cap and took heed to it, this might not happen.
But then I say that, but then I do also commend some people because there was a guy, I forgot, he was a reporter, and he was like, I apologize, Cap. I see what you were saying. I should have acted. We put it in the group message. I should have responded differently initially. So I get it once you turn that corner. I just wish you would have did it sooner.
But I seen and I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing.
Like when he was saying that, what were they paying attention to initially? Like
what Drew Brees said. What Drew Brees said.
But how do you turn a blind eye to what the man? I think he articulate what he was trying to say or his point in doing everything. I think he did that shit.
Because when you have it set in your mind, it's set in your mind. They had it set in their mind, you're disrespecting the flag. Kneeling disrespects the flag. Choose another way or something.
And again, when you ignorant to the other side of things, that's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but when you ignorant to things or you're not educated on things, it's easy to take your position. Just think about an argument where you was dead ass wrong. We argued with somebody before and we was dead ass wrong. And think about how hard it is, one, to admit that you was wrong, and think about how hard it is when you think that you're right to admit that you was wrong.
And then when you know you're wrong, what you used to try to do?
Double down.
No,
change the subject or double down.
How about the NBA?
But
switch it up. Yeah, dude.
Nigga completely changed that bitch wanting.
Right. We go over here and see what LeBron and them doing. Fuck Drew Brees. But the NFL ultimately they're always late. I commend it, and that's one thing I do commend the NBA on is they're normally on time with these type of situations because they've been fighting and fussing about this ahead of time, and they didn't go against their players when their players was doing the same. Like you didn't see the NBA commissioner come out against LeBron and when they was trying to stand up for black rights.
But help me understand this. I'm truly asking because I don't know. I'm ignorant to the situation. We said that about the NBA, but the NBA already had a written in policy that they couldn't kneel or nothing during the national anthem or things like that. So they already had it where they had to stand up. So let's just say they wanted to kneel and protest. We never really saw that out there.
Then you do like they did, and you
two different things.
Well, you do what you did. You still find a different way to protest. Right. You know what I'm saying? They found a different way to protest with T-shirts.
But is it a protest if you're following rules of a protest? Like you get what I'm saying? Like a protest is supposed to cause disruption. So to me, like I'm going to. I know the NBA. Hold on. I know the NBA has a rule about me kneeling. I'm gonna kneel. This is the purpose of LeBron. What are you gonna do to LeBron James when he kneels?
It can also.
What are you gonna do to KD when they kneel? What are you gonna do to these big superstars when they start making everybody kneel? And you got a rule saying that hey, you can't kneel during this anthem.
I don't know if it's necessarily always to go about breaking the rules. It can also be about just bringing awareness as well. Which they saw that maybe my part is bringing awareness to this situation.
But also, I just thought about the NBA did the same thing they did to Cap. Ty, what's my buddy name used to hoop for Denver?
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Yeah, they did. Never seen that man again. Chris Hodges. They did it to Chris Hodges. One of the best 3-point shooters. I think led the league in 3-point percentage.
Hey,
he wore dashiki to the White House. Out of there. Never played again.
Ain't them the same people?
Chris Hodges? No. His name was Chris. His name was Chris, though. Chris Hodges played for the Bulls. It was Chris. Damn,
Chris Hodges. You're right. Gotcha. Okay.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf
what was his real name?
I'll find it.
Robert Pack or something.
He went to LSU. What's that name?
I think it was Chris.
It was
all
Chris.
Chris's are great.
But yeah, I mean, we just seeing a lot. Okay, you're right. We saw this week too. Tom Herman, the head coach of the Texas Longhorns. He basically said, if you're going to cheer for our players on the
Chris
field,
Jackson.
Chris Jackson. I knew that. Yeah. Tom Herman said that if you're going to cheer for our players on the field, you better have the same feelings for them off the field. He basically was saying Tom Herman is a white head coach of the University of Texas Longhorns football, very traditional powerhouse football club, probably one of the top 5 money-making revenue football programs in the country. Basically said that, you champion these players, you cheer for them, but would you let them date your daughters? Would you be okay with them being in your homes? And he basically saying that don't just cheer for them when they score a touchdown or when they win in games and high-fiving. You should be cheering for them and championing for them in life. When things are being done to them unjustly, you should also be cheering to make sure things are changing to root for them. I wanted to know y'all thoughts on it. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but now we here expound on it a little bit more.
Hook 'em horns or whatever they little slogan is. But man, that was dope. That was beyond dope. That was like some real shit. Which should have been said. I always think it's funny because racism trumps all. Like when black players in Tuscaloosa are harassed. Like you love that damn school, but you hate that black skin more. But Herman ass better win this year.
You seen his ass, Joe.
He better goddamn win.
Hey, I think that's why he talking this shit, because that team is actually getting better. Like they gave LSU, they might have played LSU the best of any team this year. They gave them a run for their money. But that team, I think that
we played
that team. I think that team, y'all was bums. That team turning the corner. So I think he'll do well. As far as his comments, straight regular human decency, man.
Yeah,
that's how you're supposed to think about a person, and think about people, and think about people you root for in some aspect. I feel like if you root for a person in any way, you should root for him in all ways. So.
Yeah, and he basically said, and this is one part of it, he said, can the average fan relate? No, they can't, Herman said. There's a double standard, maybe a little bit. We're going to pack 100,000 people into Mureauxs Stadium, which is Texas Stadium, and 1 million fans watch on TV that are predominantly white. Not all of them, certainly, but most of them are white. We're going to cheer when they score touchdowns, and we're going to hug our buddies when they get sacks or interceptions. But are we going to let them date our daughters? ? Are we going to hire them in positions of power in our companies? That's a question I have for America. You can't have it both ways. And if you're going to cheer for them and love them 3.5 hours on Saturday in the fall, you better have that same feeling for them on the field. On the same feeling for them off the field, because they're human beings. They deserve the same amount of respect and human rights that all of us do in this country. We agree on the social contract to be members of the United States.
Tom Herman, you gonna win? Your ass gonna be at Alabama State next year.
That's a simple way of thinking, man. That's the best way of thinking for all human beings, man. And I support it as everyone should, because it only makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that was a bold statement and that's what I was saying. Going back to Goodell, be out on front, stand on a leader. Stand out on front, man. Don't be scared. Like if you're a good person, a good human being, you're good intentioned. Stand out on front, man. You ain't really worried about do these other people agree. You know, you're standing on principle. You standing on rights, man. Stand out there and let the be early with it.
And this ain't no gimmick either, because it's the University of Texas. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to attend the University of Texas? You know what I'm saying? So he's jumping out in front of it. Like he has no agenda here. You can see this is genuine. You know what I'm saying?
And they're majority white.
Right.
Just don't land on that dumb of the week next week.
Right.
Yeah. Man, Tom Herman. And then the video come out, you can call the whole team of niggas, guys.
They searching for shit right now.
They gonna find that blackface picture of him in a minute.
Oh yeah, that Halloween party he went to.
That Halloween in high school '86. Goddamn, you better hope it ain't that, Tom, because they coming for you.
Right, don't embarrass us.
They didn't like that shit there.
Right. Yeah. So.
Y'all niggas so. Damn. We still in the middle of pandemic. We saw that some Alabama players. I think it was five Alabama players, 3 Auburn players was diagnosed with corona, COVID-19. I think most of them were asymptomatic, but yet they still had the disease. It just made me think that, like, you know, with a lot of players returning, it made me wonder if we start seeing more cases, what would that do, or what would the position of the NCAA be? I know they left it up to each individual schools, and they haven't had any more reports that I've seen as of yet. This is Sunday. But
I think they're gonna look at it from a money standpoint. They're gonna look at it like we had 5 players asymptomatic. They're okay. We can move forward. I'm for real. Get them better. Keep them away from the team for now, and the rest of us, we can go to war and make this money.
Boy, they'll change the narrative. Athletes who play football, they don't get it. They're
healthy. Yeah, they're not gonna get
the Heat get rid of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I don't think those numbers, like, they'll look at it like those numbers aren't that high.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to fuck around and say, them niggas who run and put their hands on their knees instead of the hand on the head. Like we said last week. They don't get it. Put your hand on your knees, you straight.
Then 10 years later, you're going to find out you gave everybody cancer.
Man, I wanted to tell y'all, man, they be coming up with some shit for corona. I saw a nigga say, you know, the protest is heightening people chances of getting corona. He said, just make sure when you're out there, you just don't yell, because if you yell, the droplets come out. Man, if I gotta do all that shit, man, I just
protest.
be there.
It ain't the bars opening up, huh? It's the protest.
You want a silent protest? It was 17,000 people out there.
Just go out there walking around whispering and shit. No, nigga.
Man, bro.
Wear your mask, man.
Martin sent me a dope ass picture, man. He was in Chicago, man. He'd have been out there 2-3 nights in a row, man. But he sent me a dope ass picture from Chicago that was extra live, man. So it was so many people out that thing. He just said he wanted to get involved and get out there. So I thought that was dope. I don't know.
I tried to get out there Friday and yesterday. I couldn't find none.
Well, who do you also showed up to the protest link?
No, not yesterday. I was early yesterday.
I don't know what happened yesterday.
You gave me some bad info. Tell me that now. You want?
I got it from the authorities.
They gave me some bad info. They gonna be out here tonight. I went out there early. Ain't nothing out there.
Well,
but all in all, man, they doing it for the cause, and that's what's good. Man. So keep doing it. I think they're dying down a little bit. And hopefully it's moving to the next stages, next steps, and see what's next to get things moving in order and a better route.
I know Mobile was supposed to have one today, but it was for taking out the monument. And since they just went ahead and took it down, I wonder if they're still going to have it. I don't know.
Nigga, New Orleans shut down the whole interstate. The whole interstate was packed with people down there.
And have a block party when they do that shit.
And they did.
They definitely win.
I mean, if they want the monument so bad, just take the motherfuckers and put them in a little museum somewhere off to the side. It's a lot of history people that like history that would love to learn about that shit. Not saying that they support that or think that is right, but some people might history. They study Vietnam War. They study all that shit. Let's go see the Confederate statue. Shit, black, white, whoever. Might go see that shit, but get the shit off the shit, man. It's no longer.
I don't see Hitler statues, and that doesn't mean I don't want to know about World War I.
Right.
So shut up. And most of the people saying it look like they can't even read. So why you care about history?
There go my boy right there.
Oh, snagger too, Bell.
You should have asked him that question right now, Tom.
You know what I'm saying, man?
So when it came up, right? You should have held on to that bitch.
No, man, because I would never do that on a public platform.
Hey, man, y'all noticed that the pandemic and the all the silver unrest and everything had made us that y'all ain't been bothering the girls all week, the last 2-3 weeks.
Ain't been bothering them?
Y'all ain't been coming here, man. Your girl lover, goddamn. Yeah, all the time.
Civil unrest, you know what I'm saying? We giving them a break because of civil unrest. But we got them today, goddamn. Did they goddamn get upset because you going on the flight? You going to D.C.? So we got that today. I had to
change immediately.
I had to hurry up and come with some kind of alternative. All right, man, find us a trip to go on. So now we got to go on a trip. You got to find an alternative to get rid of that anger, cuz. Come on, where you want to go?
Goddamn, who'd have got ahead of it like Mobile did when they took the monument down? He would have had to. Hey, all right.
Yeah, man, come on.
I already know what you're finna be fussing about.
Let me put these gates up. Put these gates up right quick.
Where them damn dummies at, man? It's so many of them.
I think we talked about them, fool. We talked about so many. Drew Brees, the 57.
Moving on into the dummy of the week.
It was enough to go around, goddamn.
Every white person that got fired this week. Every white person that got fired.
Who said last week? White people, please stop white people. Meaning the ones who are doing stuff that's out of touch, the ones that are saying things that you're not sensitive or paying attention to what times that we're in. Don't get caught on the wrong side, man. I don't have one in particular because we, again, like I did last week, we had 52,000 different situations. The same was this week. It was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different articles of different people getting fired for saying stupid shit. I'm not even highlighting one in particular. But all of you people who can't seem to realize that the world is changing, you need to adapt and you need to change with it. All of you motherfuckers who are on the wrong side of this, Candace Owens, jump on this motherfucking, come on to the principal's office. You can come on right with them.
Enough to go around.
It's plenty. All of you people are on the dummy of the week.
Stupid
dummy.
something.
I want to add one too. I want to add one.
Dummy.
I sent the video of the nigga on Instagram. A white guy went up to somebody's door, a Chinese lady's door, and was mad at her because she had Black Lives Matter on her car window.
On some shit that she didn't pay.
Take that shit off. Nigga, if you don't get your ass about my front door.
White bicyclist who ran up and physically touched teen girls who was putting up a sign of Black Lives Matter, snatched the signs out their hand, ran to his house, tried to burn his bike, tried to burn his helmet, but kept the very thing that he stole from him. You were part of the dummy of the week, you fucking dummy.
Dummy.
I mean, it's just so many to go around, man. We'll be going all day.
We spread love. Dummy love.
So you can get it all. Other than that, man, any other thing that we forgot to mention or that we missed out on?
Let's see.
Dummies will be in DC. We are going to DC.
Yeah.
We going to revolutionize. I think that's how.
I'm getting a haircut this week.
Added to the dummies, the owner of Parkside in what is that? In Avondale, a bar I've been to many times. Probably took y'all a couple of times. He went on his racist tangent and got fucked over for it. But Candace once again raised over $100,000 for his ass. So she fuck her.
Grace almost got us kicked out the graduation. You know how they tell you, hold all your applause to the end. And my man last name is Bernard, so he was close to the front. They call his name. She in that bitch screaming. The whole other side was there.
Nobody followed that rule, bro.
Yeah,
I don't even know why they
that's how
did that shit.
That's how you know if you cool or not.
Right.
Like if you ain't get a lot of noise, ain't nobody fuck with you.
But imagine you get that one person big screen.
That's a little different.
Man, when we getting off Zoom? I'm putting y'all on.
We coming close. My boy let me on the balcony yesterday, Friday. He let me on the balcony.
Man, we have been
just
close.
two people, you know what I'm saying?
I have seen Huda. I have seen Todd. Can't Get Right has tried to be with me in person. We just haven't made it yet. I don't think. Yep.
We can do it from the balcony. Y'all got to hold y'all pee though.
When we coming back, man? I'm sick of Zoom, man. I was listening to some old clips of how beautiful we sounded in person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of it.
We can social distance from the balcony. It just depends on what the rest of the sound gonna sound like.
We can't
gotta sound better than this.
We gotta sound better. We can't do it from the balcony. It'd be out there. Man, think about
gonna sound like drink champ.
Think about what has happened on the balcony, just being out there. We just
accident. Nigga, that's this content, nigga. Oh shit.
It was a whole car wreck outside that motherfucker. We had a riot. Oh shit.
We black on. Here,
me and DJ was out there, and like a gay couple had got into it, and Buddy hopped out, and dude was in the middle of the car yelling at him, "Get your ass back in the car!" That nigga would have sat down on the little bitch, like, "Nope, I'm not going." And I thought that shit was the funniest shit in the world. He was just like, "No, I'm not getting in that car." That nigga hit a U in the middle of the road, and then he got his ass back in that goddamn car.
I'm not in no rush, but I done had enough of Zoom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see what these numbers look like. How long we been open? We should be good.
A month.
I think we good.
Come on,
let's come in person and wear a mask. I'm with it.
How we gonna do that and talk on the mic?
The same way you talk. I don't know. No, nigga, that you muffling on purpose, and that's your hand, motherfucker. Open your mouth.
And it's not about that. You're sitting down. You're in a closed area. Like, we got to see what these numbers look like after this protest. I think no more than 2 times. If we can do this 2 more times, then I'd be cool with it.
2 more times. Shooting for July.
We got to build our immunity up before we get to DC.
No doubt. I've been trying. I've been out the last 2 days.
You've been venturing a little bit.
I went hiking. I tried to go find me to no avail, find me a protest.
But I done seen, man, ain't nothing like seeing when you be out though and hear that person cough.
I think I got away. I saw a little kid cough yesterday. Get your ass home, little kid.
I do.
Y'all be the ones to look at them kids.
Man. But other than that, man, we'll be back next week like we never left. Cause like we say every week, we never leave. You dig?
Eat you.
Have a good one,
Bye
Tom.
bye. Be safe.